Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fessa, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Wednesday, July 15th. Now we're halfway through the month. Would you look at that? Disclosure's moving along. Still got more stuff to talk about. We haven't hit a drought yet, but you never know what's around the corner. Before we get to it, let me go ahead and welcome in the audience, and let's see who the heck we have out there. All right, it's a live show, so let's welcome everybody in. We got Aussie. Good to see you, Ted. Avi's here from India. Watch out, trolls. Be nice in the chat. You will get spanked. Brains is out there along with Cabriolet. We got Craig Smith and Dan Larev. Doc's out there along with Dusty Gee, Eliza Teal, and Elvis Roten. We got Firefly, Galactic Family Podcast, and Geraldine Durazio. Good to see you, my dear lady. Grateful Benny's out there along with Jan and JJ and Joey Stoner and John Rainiv. But would you look at that? We got Kelly Brote and those piercing blue eyes. Good to see you, Kelly, as always. Kiwi DJ's out in the chat as well, along with Lord Malphus. JP Six Gunner just popped up. We got Lori G. Magnum, Mark Live. Good to see you, PC Anderson. Rainbow Skim is out there, along with Rainstorm Hunter, Scooby Dooby Gooby, Scott, Steve Mateo. We've got Teresa Loves Our President, the Truth Master. I always see as the Thrust Master. Sounds like something. You never know. Mark Halem's out there along with Viper Tech. We got Wasteland Wonder, Wendy, Joe, Wolfdog, and he's back. Yellow Tommy Tanker, also known as Andy. Wow. We made it through there in record time. How about that? It's amazing what Adderall does for you in the morning. On that note, let me go ahead and jump into the studio and say those three words. Mike, how the hell are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, and it seems like we have a lot to talk about with our audience tonight.
Oh, boy,
so
yeah.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, we got an hour plus with Phil, which we'll kind of skip around because it took like a 20-minute episode. It was a lot of last night's show, but there were a lot of comments on it. A lot of people going back and forth. Today's when we go over it. We got, he brought in Bryce Zabel and Christopher Mellon.
Right.
But I got to say, I think they're a little too higher level to a degree, even for the overall mass audience. I think they may be losing some people on this one.
Yeah, they may be. You might be right about that. Yeah. Obviously.
Oh, yeah. But today it's not just about good old Dr. Phil again. We got, where is it at? Where's it sad trombone here somewhere? Oh, here we go. Yes, we're talking about J.D. Vance today, the current president of the United States. Mike, although he's had access to the files, he's had access to the information, he hasn't had any time whatsoever to be learning about anything about UFOs, and he's still calling them out as a demonic craft, that they're demons.
Yeah, well, he sounds like a schmuck when he makes points like that.
Almost reminds me of Pence a little bit too thick in the religion there.
Yeah, it very well could be. You're right. Trump seems to like the very religious type in that position.
Helps him get elected. It's the formula.
Well, you're probably right about that.
Yeah, but it also shows, if we're going to go ahead, as well, a little speculation about this before we get to it. Think about this. If he talks about it the way he's talking about it, the lack of interest in it, like we've said before, this Trump thing is a perfect storm. I doubt if he were to take over as president, that this whole thing I wouldn't doubt that it wouldn't be brought to an end.
Oh my God. He would close out Disclosure almost immediately.
Yeah. Reminds me of the message of what was coming from some of the Christian generals in the Department of Defense who didn't want to investigate this because they thought it was demonic. Reminds me of the Collins Elite as well. Same thing.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. The Collins Elite. Completely against anything to do with Disclosure because they were 100% convinced that they're all demons. But no one seemed to have told them that demons don't need a starship or any technology like this. Assholes.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess demons, like we said in Star Trek, God doesn't need a starship, and neither do demons.
No, you're right. They don't. So anyone that believes that is talking out of their ass.
Yeah. Well. All right. right. We've got a couple clips here from one. All right. We'll go to the first. We got a couple clips here coming from Skywatch Signal. He actually gave us some nice clips. Got to give him some props. He was here on Saturday's show hanging out with the audience, having a blast, laughing along with us. He's got two nice clips, one 5 minutes, one 3.5 minutes. The first one we're going to get to right now is Joe Rogan asked JD Vance why he thinks aliens are demons. Aliens are demons, huh?
Oh, wow. Well, we'll hear it. Let's play the clip.
Well, there's one thing to set you in a better news, Mike, in a better mood. There
What's
you go.
that?
Oh my God.
I've done it again. Your beauty queen's checking you out again, Mike.
Oh, fuck. I see it. Yeah,
He
great.
doesn't watch the screen.
The erection. No, I am now. The erection killer is back. Thanks for that.
God, yeah. Well, you got to have fun with it. What the hell?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the first one. Make sure this is the right one again. Yes. Aliens are demons. How does he come up with this shit? Did he get the briefing from Stephen Greer too?
Oh, maybe. He must have. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
Here we go. Let's play it out.
Bullshit. This could all be fake. That's a possibility. But if it's real, is there really a meaningful difference between an angel or a demon and a space alien with super technology? To our perception, they would largely just look like the same thing.
I think we're capable of nuance. We're capable of understanding that human beings are...
So he thinks humanity is stupid enough, Mike, where we can't tell the difference between a spaceship and an angel and a demon. Unless what he's saying is the Catholic religion and Christianity is screwed up because we're calling out all these things that are really, NHI or, aliens and spaceships. But a whole religion out there is based on them being like angelic or demonic beings.
Right.
And he knows what they look like. And he knows what they look like, he said. They would look like the same thing. How does he know that?
Oh, true.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, we got you. Here we go.
Are far more complex and evolved than chimpanzees. And we could imagine a world where if we don't blow ourselves up and there's not a nuclear bomb and we don't get hit by an asteroid, if we live another 1,000,000 years, that we would have technology that's indistinguishable from magic. Right?
Exactly. That's
right.
exactly
that
what I'm saying. And then we could show up on another planet.
Demons. It just means they're hyper-evolved, advanced civilizations from somewhere else.
And what I'm saying is the perception of those beings to a more simple intelligence.
Sure.
There's not a meaningful difference. So you're like talking about what it is that these things actually are. And I guess what I'm talking about is how would a human being with my level of intelligence or your level of intelligence in 2026 understand what's going on?
Right, but
oh, God, he just cut his intelligence down to about 25% of what it is, Mike. Yeah, I muted you for a second there, just so you know.
Oh, easily he did that. And it should be insulting to Joe Rogan, but I don't even think he paid
Well, it's
attention
insulting to me, to everybody else, to say we couldn't figure out the difference between these things. I'd hope so. One's got the horns and the long chin and the pointy nose and then the wings and the fangs,
Yeah, no shit.
That's my point is, who the fuck knows what anything looks like? Come on.
Yeah.
Just because it was written that way by people in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd century or drawn that way absolutely doesn't mean that's what they look like. I mean, come on.
Geraldine D'Orazio, the lighting is just really bad. You can't tell if he has eyeliner on. Trust me, it looks like a really crappy image. We tried to look into it. We couldn't verify. I'm sorry. We know that's a mystery out there. We all want to answer on Disclosure tonight.
Yep.
From a biblical perspective, there's a very big difference between a demon and a hyper-intelligent being from somewhere else.
I mean, a demon or a hyper-intelligent, malicious...
If demons are real...
I mean, he has to ponder how could I tell the difference?
Yeah, he really is a schmuck.
How stupid is this guy, really? Where did Trump find him?
No place good.
Yeah, let's just
Ohio.
hope there isn't an assassination of Trump, because then you guys are going to get stuck with him.
I think who was it who said he's playing to the religious right? I think that's probably right. I think he's making a political statement.
But why is he going and playing along to feed disinformation to a sizable portion of people in the United States? It doesn't make sense.
I think he's siding, like the Mike was pointing out, I think he's siding with a religious side. Here's the difference. It's going to be, for the Republican Party, be Rubio or him. Rubio's already come out and said, hey, there's some shit out there, and we really need to investigate it. He's even in a movie saying that.
Yeah.
So,
what does he say? What did he say about the UFOs we shot down over Dead Horse, Alaska, the Yukon? Then we chased one down over Maelstrom Air Force Base, and then we finally shot it down over Lake Huron. What did he say? I would hope these things are alien, because if they're not, and it's the Russians or the Chinese, we're screwed.
So this is a difference between Vance and Rubio. Let the differences begin, because by the time 2028 rolls around, there'll be plenty of them.
Yeah. Boy.
Yeah. Not good.
You know what we haven't heard him say yet?
What?
And I can see Russia from my house.
Oh, God.
I mean, a demon or a hyper-intelligent, malicious...
If demons are real, if there really are dark forces in the universe, and they're disembodied dark forces, these things that exist,
yes,
and then there's also powerful light forces in the universe, that they don't have to be mutually exclusive to the concept of hyper-intelligent other species.
Absolutely.
When you're looking at an insanely vast universe.
I don't think they have to be. But I think that it is interesting to me that for most of human history, we would have understood supernatural, hyper-powerful, hyper-knowledgeable things as sort of celestial or celestial.
We would have thought of a cell phone as being sorcery. I mean, that doesn't mean it's sorcery. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just technology. That argument doesn't make any sense to me.
Well,
and this is not discounting the possibility of demons or discounting the possibility of angels.
Well, I guess I understand your point conceptually. I don't actually disagree with it. So I don't think we're saying something different. That, metaphysically, there could be two separate things going on. There could be there could be extra Earth, outside of Earth, space aliens, and there could also be angels and demons. These could be two totally separate things. One could be true, not the other. I totally concede.
Is he going to take and split apart aliens and extra dimensionals, or the extra dimensional things are aliens?
I hope not.
No.
Michael Sekuloff, go ahead.
Yeah, he's not making any sense. He keeps changing his point of view, and I think he's just doing this to get votes.
And
it shows he can't make up his mind or talk about something and articulate himself.
Yeah, like he's just he finishes half a sentence and then starts a new one.
What could it be? Come on, you're a vice president. You're presidential.
No, he won't get reelected, that's for sure.
And let's hope nothing happens to Trump, because the people who are wishing for that to happen, you'd get stuck with this guy.
Yeah, he's going to fit in the old mold, the same old mold.
Well, maybe they'd impeach him just for believing in demons.
That's not going to happen.
Flying demon.
Yeah. Sweaty nerd, your hand is up.
Yeah, I think he's pandering more to the Catholics, the church, the Christian side. You know what I'm saying? He's not discontinuing or discounting aliens, but of course he's going to have to throw in there angels and demons, because isn't he a Catholic, right, or Christian, right?
I think that sounds like a good basis for a survey in a little bit, Daryl.
I couldn't understand what Sweaty Nerd was saying, man. You moved to the old mic again.
Oh.
The last part.
No,
What's the survey?
I was saying, is he Catholic or Christian? Because I think he's pandering more.
Is he pandering to
that
the religious folk with his answers? I guess is the question. Let's go ahead and do that one once we finish this segment.
Oh, is he pandering to religious folk? Is that what the idea is?
Yeah, are his answers his real answers, or is he pandering to the religious right?
I'm with you.
Okay.
And agree with that point. I guess what I'm saying is it's a distinction that is conceptually interesting to me, but if a space alien with like superhuman technology comes to the Earth and has malicious intent, I don't know how I'm supposed to tell the difference between that and a demon.
If they have malicious intent.
So space aliens that are malicious are demons. They're the same thing.
No, not according to the Bible. They're not.
Well, he's throwing his own religion under the bus. That's what
Yeah,
you
he
get
is.
for being born again, I guess. My God, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Smile.
You know what? That's not going to get him fucking elected.
No, it's not. And the chat's going crazy, and my chat isn't keeping it up with enough. Well, it's taking way too long to get all these chats across. Great conversation, folks. Let's play some more. Here we go.
Intent, but I mean, isn't that also the case with visiting people, right? Like you could have a country and you get visited by the Peace Corps, or you get visited by pirates.
Yeah.
You know, and are the pirates demons? As the Peace Corps angels?
No, but I think we're talking about something much different. I mean,
Are we talking about something different, or are we talking about a hyper-advanced version of that?
We're talking about, I mean, as I understand it, we're talking about things that exist outside the United States. Outside of the Earth, okay? And
Perhaps.
two different types of beings that could exist outside. I mean, okay, maybe
There's a lot of people, you know,
who
Tim
think that
Burchett thinks that they're here.
there's Atlantis or there's something else
Well,
like
that
that.
they're somehow or another they're survivors of a long gone civilization that live under the ocean.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just as kooky as living in space.
Here's the way I would put it is like there's also a difference between a demon and a ghost, right? These things are two very different conceptual things.
Right.
But if I'm a human being and I meet a malicious ghost, maybe I think it's a demon, and maybe all I'm saying is maybe there's some point at which the conceptually interesting, this is such a weird conversation, at which point the conceptually interesting discussion of what it is separate from how it appears to me.
Well, that was an interesting one. Little piece of it, but at least it gives us an idea where kind of Vance is coming from on this one, Mike. It's a frightful situation, to say the least.
It comes across like a complete and total fucking whack job. Not good. Not a good look.
If you can't tell the difference between a religious icon and something from books over thousands of years old to something that he has evidence that he can check out, but he won't take the time to get there and wants to classify it, something feels wrong.
Oh, it really is wrong. That's nothing good about that at all.
Do you want to fly this poll?
Yep, take it. Go for it.
Okay.
All right, we got a poll on this one, folks. Coming in. There we go. Is J.D. Vance trying to appeal to the religious right with his aliens are demonic viewpoint? And I think that's just going to create a huge mess for everything for down the road. My God, you got to keep this out of religion. The last place it needs to be. All right. Okay, Google. Set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
All right. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Starting now.
There we go. All right. Where's that sound effect I need to play? Oh, it's... There we go, folks. We've got it going now for the next 1 minute and 16 seconds. Let's see if we can break through that 77 vote threshold. We always get stuck at. Look at that. We got 71 votes in already. 75. We're easily going to go over 77. Can we get to 100? Come on, 76, 76. We got 79, 79, 80, 80. Come on, you get to 81, 81. Come on. I I haven't been to a freaking auction since I was a kid, although I've seen them on YouTube.
It's interesting that he mentions ghosts, like if you met a ghost or whatever, and he's talking about demons and he's talking about Christianity. There's nowhere in the Bible that it talks about ghosts roaming the earth, just so everybody knows.
No.
That's totally antithetical to the whole idea. Anyway, yeah, he's a walking contradiction.
Yeah, but if you look at our audiences, hey, we got 100 votes in. We got it with 22 seconds left to go. Wow, it's still going up there. The audience is interested in this one. This is good. 102 votes in. We got 14 seconds left to go, folks. 78% of the audience, let's even get up to 80%, is saying yes. JD Vance is trying to appeal to the religious right with his aliens and demonic viewpoint. Well, by the sound of that noise, that means our timer is up and I get to kill the pulsing logo sound effect and also then take a screenshot for posterity, folks. Posterity's sake, let's go ahead, shut that poll down. Yeah, a lot of shows, they don't use the polls right, Daryl. They'll have a poll going like the entire frickin' show. There we go. Final answer. 109 votes in. JD Vance trying to appeal to the religious right with his alien demonic viewpoint? Yes, 78% of our audience, which is about, let's say, 79 people, give or take, voted the answer on that one is absolutely yes. Not surprised.
Yeah, by the way, somebody pointed out, I can't remember, Firefly pointed out, he goes, what about the Holy Ghost? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. The Holy Ghost. That's the only mention of a ghost, but not in the sense of a ghost running around the earth.
Right.
It's not in the Bible at all.
I want to get this. You have to do one more thing. And that, and AUTOSHOW.
I think another point to be had is that multiple people have come out and said that there's multiple species. So why is he going and contradicting that with there's just this one thing that are demons? It's just super confusing. Just throwing
shit, I broke it. There it is.
More gasoline on the fire. It's not helping educate anybody.
I think I fixed it. Put it on auto show on its own, so to start doing its thing. Hopefully it's going to go through the chat a lot faster. It's been stuck on there way too long, and there's so many messages people were saying we're losing. All right, let's get to it, to our next piece of JD Vance. All right. Let's go out of this post on X. Let's go to our next one. Our next one, JD Vance thinks the government has space alien remains as it would have been. No, he doesn't think we have space alien remains as it would have been leaked out. Vance stated, I'm skeptical of the competence. I actually made this point to Dave while we talked to him. Means he talked to Grush. So, although as the vice president of the United States, he could get access to this information.
He's definitely interested in the topic. He stated that in the past, but what did he say Grush said? And by the way, he's on Wegovy. He's taking the 149 milligram pill.
The pills, they found out the pills don't work, actually.
Well, Wegovy?
Well, one of the pills they just took off the market because, yeah, it did go ahead and raise your GLP-1s a little bit, but your GLP-1s actually raise like 30 or 40 points. But when you eat a meal, your GLP-1s actually go up by like 300 or 400. It may not be Wegovy. It was another one, but I heard about that on Monday or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
All right, here we go. Let's get into this one. Again.
Yeah, it's still on the market.
He's debating whether or not we have bodies, but it has leaked out. Everyone's talked about us having bodies, about us having biologics. We've talked about Monsanto Corporation. Lou's talked about it in the place. That's where they were doing the biological research and the DNA and all that kind of stuff. It's down in Missouri. The Show Me State. Burleson should go and demand his way into the Bayer Monsanto facility under the state of... It's under St. Louis, I believe. It's fucking huge. You know, those giant caves they can drive like semis into. Gee, I wonder why they wanted to hide their...
Is this pointing out the fact that they're keeping him in the dark?
He's... based on he's talking, well, he does kind of feel like he is kept in the dark and fed bullshit. So, could be.
Interesting.
All right. Let's see what Mr. Ozembic has to say.
that it's true that we have the physical remains is not because I don't think that's something that like is physically possible, or that the government's willing to do and able to do a lot of crazy stuff in our history and the history of all governments. I am skeptical of the competence. I actually made this point to Dave when we talked, and I think he's a very interesting guy. So I don't mean to insult him or say I disagree with him about everything, but I made this point to Dave when we talked. It's like, if we have literal space alien remains in the custody of the United States government, there is no way that wouldn't get leaked. That wouldn't leak out in some way.
Well, yeah, it was leaked out by Jackie Gleason when Nixon took him there, and then it was also leaked out by who's the guy? Uri Geller, who Werner von Braun took him to the NASA facility Goddard up near D.C. and showed him the bodies on fucking ice. So yes, there have been people who are credible who have talked about this, and others have also gotten into this, that they've got this stuff. So yes, it has leaked out. So
I want to know what
again,
Grush said. I want to know what Grush said when he said that.
I don't know.
I want to know.
Michael, your hands up.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he's been read in at all. He doesn't seem to know a bloody thing about what's going on in the UFO.
Is it for plausible deniability reasons, potentially?
No, not even that. He's got his own, he's got his mind made up on what these things are, and he's mouthing off his own narrative that just doesn't make sense and doesn't work.
Yeah, so he's a total denier. I mean, you got the guy telling you there are biologics. He's testified in front of Congress, and this schmuck comes in and says, "No, you're wrong."
Exactly. I mean, he doesn't know. He's just talking through his hat, looking for.
I think it's a total political play. I used to like JD Vance up until right now.
But you know what? We got to ask the question: is JD Vance any better than Dan Quayle?
Can he spell potato?
I was trying to think what kind of VP could align and be equivalent to JD Vance. And the only name that came up to mind was fucking Dan Quayle. I have the book, Where's Dan Quayle? Instead of Where's Waldo, you have to find Dan Quayle with his hand up waving.
By the way, just so everybody knows, you spell potato Potato.
No E on the end?
And if you don't know why I'm saying that, then you don't know anything about Dan Quayle.
All right, here we go.
Just real quick. So he was in front of an elementary school class, and he was telling them how to spell potato wrong.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know what? I remember that. I was in junior high when that happened. I think it was.
And I'm embarrassed to say he's from Indiana, but I wasn't living here when he was whatever he was.
Quayle was from Indiana too?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Quayle and Vance.
And there's a few others from Indiana. I can't name them.
That's okay. We got the former, never mind. The former head of the Department of Transportation did such a great job. Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah. My Mayor Pete.
Yeah, Petey boy.
I will say he was fun on the wine walks and the what do they call it? Wine. Let's call it wine walk. Where you go from bar to bar to bar, and he would go with us.
Oh, nice.
And he was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Jays know how to party.
He did know how to party.
Oh yeah.
The other thing he hasn't done is he hasn't mentioned anything about it relating to national security.
Oh, that's right. Well, you said it though, Daryl.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. All right.
There you go.
There we go. Let's get to it. Here we go.
Well, it has leaked out anecdotally.
Well, I guess that's the counter argument.
Yeah,
but I think it would leak out
Nixon
more
story?
than
The Nixon Jackie Gleason story?
No, I want to hear that, but like with cell phones and every way that we have, like it's plausible to me you could hide that in an era where you have to have a giant camera the size of these antlers in order to take a photo of something. But dude, I can take like you have cameras now that are like literally this tiny. That's the part then I'm skeptical of
Okay,
that
but
we're hiding that.
Let me push back against
So you
that.
think your intelligence community is that bad?
He doesn't even know the Jackie Gleason story.
I mean, he's not even really taking it serious, dude. This isn't a serious conversation right now. And I've heard Joe Rogan be very serious about this topic, and JD's just sitting here fucking blowing smoke up his ass. So good job, JD.
Oh, yeah.
Another win.
Yeah. Jay Albertson, what say you?
Does he even know like what actually is going on? Like, they've had cameras smaller than you know what, like Insecticopter. You know, the CIA's had that where it was like the size of a dragonfly. You know, that could come around and do audio and video.
Yeah. Dan Quayle, yeah. Or Sarah Palin. No, Dan Quayle was worse than Sarah Palin. Just have to say.
Somebody just put that in the chat. Dan Quayle, Sarah Palin, Biden, and Kamala Harris are all members of the Alphabet Club, learning their ABCs. Hypersonic boom.
Here we go.
You know that if you have any sort of top secret, like if you go into a skiff, like there's no way you're bringing cameras in there.
Okay.
You're look, when I came here to this podcast studio, they had a dog check my trunk.
And it's your
they had
studio?
to pop my trunk. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm going to blow up my own studio?
Yeah, but okay. So
you know what I'm saying?
But the counter argument, though, is they check that stuff on you. They don't check that stuff on everybody.
Everybody here, they did.
Everybody here. But
Yeah,
I'm saying
so, but
there
if
are,
if
all
there's
you
a
need, all you
place-
need is one official with like the highest security clearance. Now, okay, you're right.
And if they find out it was him, they'll kill him. They'll kill the guy.
Oh, yeah.
They find out he has a picture. He talks about it. He mentions it anywhere, any device. They are going to know that he has it, and they will go and take it back. And he'll accidentally fall out of his hotel room backwards 10 stories up.
Mm-hmm.
Certain devices like emanate signals that they can pick up on, Bluetooth and all that shit. But
to have access to go into a room where they have these things,
and
if they did have these things, I guarantee you they're going to make sure no one's got anything. They could easily scan you to make sure that you don't have any kind of electronics, any kind of camera, any kind of recording device. That's not hard.
How does Joe Rogan know more about the security practices of the fucking United States government? Oh my God, he's that stupid.
When you go into a cabinet meeting, you have to put your phone into a basket. I mean, you know, you can't go in there with anything. So
yeah. Well, cat's out of the bag on this one,
knows
folks. You definitely don't want Trump. You thought it was bad with him? Oh my God. I think we'd be safer with Mr. Ed.
I mean,
especially if you've got something squirreled away at Area 51.
In the next 2.5 years, we're going to run this experiment because I got 2.5 more years as VP. And I swear to you, if there are little green men, like body remains.
Text me, please.
Well, I'm not going to text. No,
Fucking, he's still talking about little green men. Schmuck. No. He gets the upgraded word. Mike, what's the upgraded word from schmuck?
Putz.
Yeah.
These are putz.
Fucking putz.
Yep.
I'm not going to text
Yeah,
you. I'm going to try to smuggle it.
Go ahead.
He thinks he's going to get elected in 2.5 years. Good luck with that.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
He won't
Not
even
getting
get
our vote.
nominated.
No. He won't get our vote. That's for damn sure.
Oh, fuck no.
I really want to know what Grush thinks about all.
Well, Jericho thinks he's not a
all
stupid
that.
man. Well, maybe he just plays one on TV, plays one in real life.
Plays one at the White House.
Or does he read a script really well?
I'm thinking he's an empty suit now. I mean, he's opened the kimono, and you know, it's nothing there.
There's nothing there. Nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing.
You hold up you look at him, you hold up your phone, you look at him, and you look at his face, all you see is somebody say, "Nobody home."
Just the way Susan Goff likes it.
Oh yeah.
Text me, please.
Was that
It'll
Daryl?
be Rubio running for president.
Oh God, hope so. Let's hope so.
And I swear to you, if there are little green men, like body remains.
Text me, please.
Well, I'm not going to text. No, I'm not going to text you. I'm going to try to smuggle a camera in and get a photo of these things.
Well, how would you, the Vice President of the United States of America, have to have a camera smuggled in to do that?
Well, maybe I wouldn't. But again, I've seen.
Do you think that you have the kind of authority? Like, look, let's imagine you find out that at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base they have
Hangar
some
18.
Secure facility somewhere. Maybe it's not there. Maybe it's maybe they've kept it under wraps. Maybe it's in the mountains somewhere.
Yeah.
And you find out that this thing exists. Do you think it's as simple as you could just go out and tell everybody? Or do you think that you get briefed on the implications of what would happen if you disclosed all this information?
Well, I would definitely get briefed on the implications of what would happen.
And they would
if I disclosed
probably
this
tell you,
information.
hey, you have to bullshit people.
Yeah, but dude, I'm not.
You're not going to.
You're not,
Oh, a bullshit artist.
No, he sounds like one to me.
Well, I'll tell you what he's not bullshitting about. He dropped the breadcrumb by saying, oh, no, you absolutely would get briefed on the ramifications of disclosing this. How the fuck do you think he knows that?
Yeah.
Because the president probably already got that briefing.
Yeah.
And he knows about it.
Mike, we have a content rating for this one. This content is rated B for bullshit. There we go.
I think there was a briefing about the ramifications of disclosing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was bullshit.
No, neither do I.
Well,
look. Go ahead.
What I missed that. Why did you say that, Mike? That he got briefed?
Because the way he's relaying this information to Joe Rogan, I have a good idea that the president has already been briefed. And with that comes, if he discloses or how much he discloses, what the ramifications of that would be. Without a doubt.
Let's rewind and hear that again.
It's as simple as you could just go out and tell everybody? Or do you think that you get briefed on the implications of what would happen if you disclosed all this information?
Well, I would definitely get briefed on the implications of what would happen.
And they would
if I disclosed
probably
this
tell you,
information.
hey, you have to bullshit people.
Yeah, but dude, I'm not.
You're not going to bullshit people?
Well, look, I have many skills as a politician and some vices, but like one of them is I'm just not a good liar.
Well, then they're not going to show it to you. You just fucked up. You just fucked up on this podcast by saying that.
What I am
show
telling
it to
you,
the ladies on The View.
That's right.
Oh my goodness! I have to take a second here and bring this in. This goes to the Disclosure Tonight folder. That goes, and we're going to call this
Ramifications of disclosure.
no bullshit. Hold on, I need to get this here really quick, and I want to go ahead and I'll do this in a second. But I've got the file there. We've got it. We're going to bring in. We're going to have a little content B bullshit that we'll bring up because it's necessary, especially with what's going on. All right,
do you think he's
that
lying,
it's true that we have,
or do you think he's lying about this, or he just doesn't know?
I don't think he's lying. I think that the president definitely got a briefing like that, which would also explain why in these 4 drops we're getting only so much information.
And he always acts like I'm not interested in it. I don't know anything about this. I've never heard anything. But he's been fucking briefed by Grush. He's been briefed by Jay Stratton.
For a year. Right.
They told him this in his original frickin' term in office.
Let's not forget Dr. Phil, who everybody hates, said that Trump told him that they're gonna get way better drops.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But my question is do you think here's my opinion. I don't think JD Vance knows shit from Shinola. I don't think he knows anything about it. I don't think he's been briefed. I don't think Grush has told him anything that he believes, obviously. I just don't think he's a believer. I don't think he's been.
No, he is a believer in Jesus and the Bible,
yeah.
But he's not a believer in current science and things we've been running into, especially the stuff's been invading the United States of America for the last 80 years, if not forever.
Is this a poll question? Does he know the truth about UFOs, or does he not?
Do it.
All right.
Let's get it there.
And while you're doing that, Daryl, I'll add that just because the president may have gotten that briefing doesn't mean that he did.
Right.
So he may be aware of it, but doesn't mean he got it. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows the briefing exists, but he never was privy to it.
What did I say the question was going to be? Does JD Vance win? Does he know?
Is he bullshitting? Does he know about
Is he
this
bullshitting or
not?
does he know?
Right. Yes or no for the audience.
Okay. Let's see.
Aha, I've got it. And I'll turn this into a scene where it automatically plays a bullshit artist.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. Export sound file.
All right. Ferrari, come up here. Where are you?
Let's get the survey up. Got it.
All right. Hold on. Yeah. Sorry. You know what? Goes to add option. What is going on? I cannot move the survey or the poll. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is it. Oh my God.
Can't do it. You got it, or should I do it?
It's all loaded, but I can't get to the part where it's at. Hold on, maybe if I make the screen smaller. There we go. All right, there you go.
JD Vance is bullshitting us or doesn't know anything about UFOs. Well. I like the sounds of that, folks. That's right. What do we got here? Yes, we got a poll going. And is JD Vance know anything about UFOs? Apparently, 66% of our audience thinks he doesn't know anything about UFOs with 50 votes. And okay, Google, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
All right, 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Starting now.
Aren't those answers kind of the same thing?
No, bullshitting would mean that you know the answer, you know the truth, but you're bullshitting us.
Oh, okay.
You're restricting access to the truth because you know this stuff. Like Trump is saying, I don't know anything about this. I don't really believe in it. But I talked to some pilots and, they seem really convinced on what they saw.
But I'm not.
That's bullshitting. This saying, oh my God, I can't tell the difference between an angel and a demon and a UFO. And if they do come from outer space and they are evil, they're demons. I'll throw your religion under the bus. Shame on you. With 43 seconds left to go, we got 79 votes. Hey, we broke the 77 vote or the 85 already. Wow. The audience is kicking in on this one, folks. Thank you for your participation. Gotta love surveys. Survey says... Have a ding, 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 ding.
I mean, he showed his ass when he said he didn't know anything about the Gleason deal. Well, if you don't know anything about the Gleason deal, then you really haven't invested much time into ufology or the history of it. Especially since Nixon was a president, a Republican president at that.
There we go. The timer is up and the school timer has gone off. We have an answer from our audience. I like that one. I'm going to bring it out there. Reminds me of something like...
Yeah. Class.
Shut up. Thank you. All right. And coming from our audience, where are we at? I'll turn off that logo. Final survey says... Ding, ding, ding. JD Vance doesn't know anything about UFOs. 64% of our audience had voted, so it's not quite as much of a slam dunk as the other one, but that's like almost a 30-point, that's like a 28-point lead.
You've got a soundbite for that, don't you? We
What?
don't know shit, something like that. We don't know shit. We don't know shit.
Oh, yeah, that one. Hold on.
JD don't know shit.
We ain't found shit.
There you go, JD.
There we go. Yeah. All right, audience, I love it. Is there anything else I have here? I might have other stuff from JD Vance. Aliens are demons. Bullshit are demons. Government space alien remains. And by the way, folks, we have 7,000 cases so far of explosive diarrhea, now going over 34 states.
We've got 2 people out in our office right now.
Oh boy, did they go to Taco Bell?
Indeed, they did.
They'll be sorry.
Oh, they're sorry. All right.
All right, I think that's everything.
Bit, I think, to the west, or at least the first.
I think this is from the new Merged podcast. I guess we can get to that one in a bit. Don't we have to watch Dr. Phil, or should we watch?
Yeah, we do. No, go to Phil. That's more important. I want to hear what he had to say with Chris Mellon
fucking
today.
hours. Okay. The Dr. Phil podcast, they haven't hit us yet. We're promoting Phil. He's a good guy. He tries. He's trying. This one, I think the audience is going to... Firefly one for the prize. Taco Bowl.
Taco Bowel.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's get into this. But I think, honestly, Bryce and Mellon, especially Mellon, he's got the nice camera this time. Fucking horrible audio. It sounds like he's talking... it sounds like he's hanging in the back with Ryan in the fucking bathroom talking on the mic.
I like Zabel because does anybody remember that when he was doing that podcast with Ross Coulthart, and whatever Coulthart did, it pissed him off so bad that he threw his keyboard at the monitor and pushed himself away in his rolling chair. And he was like, he was not having any of whatever fucking Coulthart was saying at that time. It was great.
Delete message. Avi, if you're there, they're back. The people who are putting nasty messages up there are back. And if our mods are there, please pay attention. Please whack these moles. Otherwise, I will start doing it.
And you don't want...
It's official. For most of my life, the government's official position...
Hold on, I need to do something here. I need to be really nice here just to be careful. Hold on. I may get in trouble for this, but I'm going to put it on there anyway. Maybe they'll look the other way if I did this. Courtesy of Dr. Phil podcast and Lou Elizondo. So if they say, well, he knows Lou. Yeah. Lou said we could play it. No, we didn't, but that's okay.
On UFOs, or what are now most commonly referred to as UAPs, was simple. Nothing to see here, folks. Well, that has changed. What you're looking at is real footage released by our own government. Some of it leaked out years ago and took the Pentagon 3 years to admit was real. The rest, brand new. Since May, nearly 340 files have been dropped on a public website. Videos, photographs, documents, audio, some locked away for almost 80 years. The fourth batch landed just this week. Over 1.5 billion people have gone to look, and here's the number that stops me. The government's own office says 40% of what's in there they simply cannot explain. Now listen, I am not an expert in UAPs. I'm not an
I guess he's quoting here Aro, and Aro was saying, based on the numbers they've put out, 40% of the results they have, they can't figure out what they are. That number's really gone up from 5% to 40%? Holy shit.
Physicist, but I'll tell you what I am an expert in, and that's human behavior. And what happens when you hand people a mountain of information with no context? Well, of course, they get confused. Some of them get scared. Some of them get downright paranoid. Or they're vulnerable to getting sold a story by someone with an agenda. Well, tonight is about none of that. Tonight is about how to think about what you're seeing. So let's give credit where it's due. The lights finally got turned on, but somebody's got to help us make sense of the room. I mean, look, This can be overwhelming, and my two guests are exactly those somebodies. Chris Mellon spent nearly 20 years inside our intelligence community. He's the man who brought the first UFO videos to the public. And Bryce Zabel wrote the book, literally, on what happens the day the government finally tells the truth. He wrote it 16 years ago. Buckle up and let's just get into it. So, Chris, Bryce, thank you both for joining me today. Bryce, let me start with you. This is something that you were concerned about, 15, 16 years ago. What context, what impact does this have when it all comes out?
Well, I think it'll have an enormous impact on almost all aspects of our lives. I actually think that what you're doing is very important, thinking about how it's going to impact people. And I guess it depends on a couple of things, Dr.
And this is the piece that I try to go towards people. We're going towards this from the area. This message isn't for us. This is the message you take and you share it with your friends, your family, your coworkers, the people who don't believe, the people who don't get it. That's why you want to go ahead. And we're basically going to do a report card on what he's doing and how he's saying it. But this is a basic, primer for the normies, all the people all the 99.5% of the people who have been following disclosure like we have. That's what his purpose is. He's the only one doing it so far. And is there anybody else taking that dialogue? Nobody.
Phil, first of all, what is it that's going to actually be disclosed? And the second is, at what time frame is it disclosed? For example, I live out here in Hollywood where we talk about slow dissolves or hard cuts. A slow dissolve is what you might say we're in right now, where we're getting that drip of these tranches that come out, and more people are talking about it. But nobody has actually stepped to a podium like the president or the Pope or the premier of China and said, these things are real. That would be a hard cut. Then we would be saying to ourselves, okay, now we have to deal with this reality all at once. So, yeah, I think everything, every part of life, everything will be impacted. Whether it'll be changed for the better or the worse, I think will depend a lot on what you're thinking about right now, which is how are we going to handle it?
Look, we've all operated under the kind of human exceptionalism sort of idea that human beings held dominion over the earth. We're the top of the food chain, so to speak. And if in fact we're not alone in this universe, and if some other being, intelligent life form, has visited the United States, I think by default they would be technologically superior to us in that it would take 2.5 million years to come from the nearest galaxy at the speed of light. We can't travel at the speed of light, so somebody's got some technology we don't have. And Chris, it was 2017 when you stepped up and shared some things with the New York Times that there's no other explanation than these have to be other than earthly, because there are videos of aerial phenomenon that we don't have the capacity to do. And if people pay attention, that's pretty compelling evidence. You did that in 2017, correct?
Correct. And to this day, nobody has been able to identify those objects or provide an explanation, a prosaic explanation for what they are. They stand, as our government has acknowledged, unresolved, and they remain a mystery. And the only hypothesis that works for most of us is that, in fact, they're products of some more advanced civilization. It's hard to come up with an alternative theory that works.
What are we most likely, in your opinions, dealing with here?
I think that's the big question. And the one thing I think we all need to take a step back and say about these tranches that are coming out is at least the documents and the videos, rather, that Chris was instrumental in getting out. We sort of have context around them right now because we know that the major one was the Nimitz case. We know where it was and when it was. A lot of these videos that like the one you just showed, the government is letting them out, but without the data that goes behind them. And so we aren't quite clear on what the lessons are to learn about all those videos. But to answer your question specifically, everybody has a different opinion right now. There are people out there, Dr. Phil, who are still saying, oh, no, it's got to be our technology. Now, I look at what I saw from those 3 videos that came out in 2017. I don't think they're our technology. And even if they were our technology, we've been seeing things like this, Dr. Phil, as you said yourself recently, for 79 years. Well, back 79 years ago, nobody had that technology. I don't think the Chinese had an air force 79 years ago.
No,
so I just don't think that it is earthly technology we're talking about. That doesn't mean it's extraterrestrial. There are a lot of other explanations people are talking about, but that, I think, defines the question of our times and why we're here right now. It's like, let's get the facts out there on the table. Right. Let's get the scientists and the various people who can help us analyze them to work. And let's encourage our government that has been studying this for nearly 8 decades and maybe more to share their work with the rest of us.
Well, that's what I mean when I talk about context, because as you say, the government puts out now in these 4 different batches of information, and the 4th one they released to me and my team exclusively ahead of time, which gave us an opportunity to really do a deep dive and get into it and see.
Really quick, I want to talk on this one. They gave him access to the release early. So Phil and his team that's helping to go ahead and get, to cover this stuff. I don't think they're talking about a scientific council or anything to that degree. I think they're looking at this from a psychological council, but they've kind of, Trump or whoever has picked Dr. Phil to get there. And a lot of people could say, oh, some people in chat, he's a grifter, or, oh, he's just trying to capitalize on this. No, who else out there is taking the message to get this to the normies and truly representing this in the way that we've been talking about it for years, the same way Elizondo and all the top leaders of this are talking about it. He's trying to get the normal people to follow that path. Daryl, Mike, anyone in the back, are you aware of anyone in the community out there who's going ahead and actually, trying to bring out the truth like this? I mean, we've heard something from some Christian pastors, but they've all been polluted by frickin' Dr. Greer.
Right. No, and a lot of the talking heads in this community have already put out their grift trying to get people to buy their product. And anybody that has a large reach to the general public, not just people in this community, no. Yeah. So far, it's only Dr. Phil.
And he doesn't have a big reach. He doesn't have a big audience. He's got a little freaking cable channel that he's building. The last one he had failed. He's trying to do it again. Someone who tries to get something, they'll try something, fail, but you have to keep on trying and trying again, because otherwise you'll never be able to hit it. And, if this is something that he can try to get into and use his skills, he used to be a psychologist, a licensed psychologist, but he stopped renewing his license in 2006 because he wasn't seeing people anymore.
The guy is 75 years old. He's worth $500 million. That's his net worth. He's not a grifter. He's not spreading shit that isn't true. That's what grifters do to stay relevant. He's just reporting what he sees. Yes, it's a business. Yes, he's probably going to make some money on it. I would hope that he does. But that's the nature of CNN, MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC, News Nation, OAN. They're all making money on giving you the news.
Right.
That's what he's doing, but he's doing it in a more personal manner.
And he's doing it in a way it's almost like a PSA that he's bringing this out and trying to get there, because there is nobody else who's doing this.
Yeah, I just don't see any problem with it at all.
Darryl, you're trying to say that He's not doing it for $5 super chats? Really?
No, he's not selling T-shirts with UFOs on them.
No, he's got his Dr. Phil Gold and these other vitamins and different things that he sells to his target audience. It's merchandising. You have to be able to survive, right? You need lines of income coming in.
Right.
Look, if you can make that money, if I can make money selling vitamins by just being on YouTube, why not? Okay.
Yeah.
But this is not his main thing. He's not known for UFOs.
Is he going ahead and saying, I'm going to go ahead and sell access? Come out to my ranch down in Texas, and we're going to charge $10,000 a head. Going to have some great barbecue. We're going to sit around the fire, talk about UFOs and everything, and it will actually give you some really nice glamping tents to go ahead and sleep in. Is he taking the Greer route and trying to leech money from the people?
What? I mean, no $25,000 spaghetti dinners? Wow.
That's what I just brought up. Yeah.
Yeah.
There may be appearance fees.
Oh, Daryl, someone shot you down.
Can you hear me?
You're back now. Yeah, your connection just faltered for a second.
Yeah.
You're okay now.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, not a grifter at all. And who cares if he was? All he's doing is telling you what is released. And he has a relationship with the president. But here's the bigger deal. The bigger picture is, I said this last night, because he's putting this out there in the world, he's going to get picked up by CNN and ABC and CBS because he's a known commodity.
Right.
So they're like, oh, now we can talk to Dr. Phil about UFOs. Let's get him on.
And they can take his message to more people to get more people to understand. Not everybody's going to find his network to go to envoy.tv and try and bring it up. So, yeah, I agree with you, NYC Elevator Guy. I respect him for what he's doing as well. I just wanted to take this point to jump in because it just made sense. Let's get into this. Here we go.
Gave us an opportunity to really do a deep dive and get into it and see what was there. And we were looking for context. And, really what we've had to do is provide our own context with our own independent experts. Like, for example, we know that there are limits to what the human body can endure in terms of G forces, gravity forces. And, I think about the typical American, we refer to her as Betty in Idaho, who doesn't spend time digging into these things, who has no idea what 10 G forces are.
Well, we do have two viewers from Idaho, 2 midgets on a horse. That means you too.
Or 1,000 G forces are, and what that would do to the human body, and what kind of structures we have, what kind of metallurgy we have. And to see some of these things that we've seen, which appear to be traveling faster than, I guess the fastest vehicle we have is the Voyager in outer space, and to see something that appears to be traveling 40,000 miles an hour and make a 90-degree turn, we don't have that capability. And we don't have anything to take care of the human body to sustain the G-forces that would take, that the body would sustain making that kind of deceleration and turn. So, Chris, that's why what you released in 2017 certainly got my attention and got me starting to study these phenomena, because I don't care what anybody says, we don't even almost have that technology. Am I missing something here? So I do urge you in free, I don't care what anybody says, we don't even almost have that technology. Am I missing something here?
No, you're not. You're not. The problem is in part that
holy shit.
In order to meet the scientific criteria to say, yeah.
Holy shit. Hold on. We just got a $100 super chat from Timmy in the back. Tim, thank you very much. Starting off the super chats tonight for $100. $99.99. Thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate that. Wow. Channel appreciates that. We're a fan-funded program, and you're a part of this, and we appreciate it, my friend. Let's, continue on. Here we go.
this is clearly beyond human technology. The scientists need to be able to replicate these findings independently and say, yeah, we're seeing the same thing with our instruments. And that hasn't happened yet. And the government has been tantalizing people with the videos, but often withholding a lot of the critical data, including one, their own analysis of the videos, and two, oftentimes the speed and distance and those sorts of things that you need to calculate precisely what the accelerations are and that sort of thing. So there's still gaps in information, even though there's been a huge improvement, and much credit to the administration for putting more out. But there's a lot of important detail that's still missing that we hope the government will begin to provide so that scientists can fill in some of the blanks and we can get more authoritative readings. In the meantime, in some cases, we just have to say we don't know, or we don't have, from a scientific standpoint, we're not in a position to make a categorical statement. But the intelligence community has different standards and different processes. And we're hoping that the Congress will compel them to do what they typically do for the president and the White House and make an intelligence judgment on this, which is a different kind of standard. And it'll be very interesting to see if Congress does insist on that, what that analysis and that what that looks like. If they produce a national intelligence estimate, for example, and that what that looks like. If they produce a national intelligence estimate, for example.
Too many words with too many syllables. Unless you're into it with Chris, some people may drop off a little bit because he's getting a little bit thick in the vernacular of what he's bringing out. What do you think, Daryl?
Yeah, that's him. That's what he does.
That's what we're dealing with, right?
Yeah. Gotta love it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We just hope that he's going to get a little deep into it. Bryce is going to get a little bit more deep into it. Dr. Phil's going to try and talk about some of the technical stuff, but you can see it's a little bit overwhelming for it because he's trying to talk on a bunch of stuff that he hasn't gotten there yet. But he's trying to get there, and he's got a good staff, but it's going to take him time. I mean, how long have we had him on the radar now? A week?
Chris Mellon?
No, Phil.
Yeah, like a week.
A week. So how long have we been looking at this for? How many years, everybody? A long time. So we got to cut him a little bit of slack, but yeah, here we go. Mellon, I'd give him about a 7 right now to 6 to go ahead and lure and keep people enticed about stuff. He's just really melodramatic, and he's talking about all the different stuff, and he's just got that drone of a voice, and we're talking about things a little bit more nasally, kind of, not quite to the Liz Taylor side, but almost I have to question that.
Liz Taylor.
Come on, you've ever been to a gay bar, right?
I have
actually
been,
no. Yeah, exactly. You go to a gay bar. Well, not that you've ever been there, and they have like this outdoor area, and you just close. Not Liz Taylor, say Liza Minnelli. You go ahead and you just close your eyes and you listen, and it sounds like a Liza Minnelli impersonator conference. He's got that little bit of a. Just saying.
Well, you went from Elizabeth Taylor.
I was wrong with that. It's not Liz, it's Liza.
Doesn't he mention national security in here quite a bit?
Well, he was close to national security. He said national element, but on that note, we're already drinking anyway, so cheers, Daryl.
I feel like.
There we go. There you go, Luke. Thank you. Got a double cheers.
Hey, Luke. Hey, here you go. Can I get one from Luke?
Luke, he wants to get a cheers ring. Can you reach across the screen all the way? You got to go further. Oh, he can't get to it. No. Hold on, Daryl. I can pick you up. There you go, Daryl.
Oh, boom.
Boom. There you go.
There we go. Thank you. Cheers.
All right, here we go. Now let's see where this goes. And that's the whole thing. We got to give it a report card. Is it, Phil's hitting it good?
Some guns on Luke there. Got some guns on Luke.
Oh, yeah.
Luke got the guns.
Yes, absolutely. He hasn't been in the gym for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Still got the guns, though. Walking those dogs every day. Here we go.
Doctor, just one follow-up to what you just said, though. If people want to understand what you were just saying in really stark terms, come out to where I live in LA, go to Disneyland, go on one of those rides where they drop you and you're just, or a roller coaster where you're feeling that kind of pressure, and now multiplied by 1,000 or 10,000 for some of these things. These are simply impossible with physics as we understand them. That's the only point I would make. So at that point, we have to start looking for other explanations. That's part of the scientific method.
I would say, in addition, Bryce, that not only...
Bryce is a Hollywood producer, yes, Wolf Dog. However, he did like the X-Files. He did a follow-up to the X-Files. He's been involved with a lot of stuff within ufology for the majority of his career in Hollywood. So, yes, he's a producer, but he's also been heavily involved with Disclosure. Well, not Disclosure, just trying to bring it out. Disclosure through Hollywood. Here we go.
Where the G-force is far beyond anything that any human mechanical device ever built could survive. Much less a being inside of it. There was no sonic boom and there was no plasma with the Tic Tac.
Okay. Sonic boom. A lot of people are going to get plasma. That is just like over 95% of the people watching this show.
Both of which we would expect to see with a craft that we've built. Very, very unusual, very strange, very hard to understand for our scientists.
Are people interested in this? Well, there's been over 1.7 billion visits to the website that was established.
Hold on. These are the kind of stats that Trump loves. I'm good, actually. What are we talking about? We're talking about, today, 1.7 billion counts and going. It's important. People want to see it. The more Trump knows that people are going to it, the more it's going to be something important he wants to bring out. So here we go.
340 million in the first 12 hours. So are people interested in this? Yeah, I think they are. I think people are very, very interested in this. And, one of the things that I've talked about rather loudly, I think, is that the government has been lying to the American people for almost 80 years. And they've been lying by omission, and I believe they've actually been constructing a fictional reality to misdirect people away from what is the truth.
Hold on.
There are gun cameras, there's radar, there's all of from to
This is a good point. People always say they're going ahead and constructing a reality to hide disclosure and the whole thing, but he just described it right there.
A fiction, and I believe they've actually been constructing a fictional reality to misdirect people away from what is the truth. There are gun cameras, there's radar, there's all of these things that were available. But instead, we saw somebody that was not trained telling outrageous stories, and credible witnesses were being hidden, sequestered, suppressed, not allowed to speak. That's one context problem. The other is when we do see these things, they're grainy, and we don't have data that gives us speed, trajectory, turn radius, things of that nature that would allow us to calculate G-forces and that sort of thing. Both of those would be very helpful.
Well, Dr. Phil, one of the things that I think we're all happy that the government is at least trying to put some stuff out. Some of it's already been out through the Freedom of Information Act. I see you got the Robertson panel document up there. That actually was something that happened in 1953. We found out about it in 2001, thanks to the Freedom of Information Act. But finally, more people are actually looking at it, thanks to these tranches being put out. But one thing I want to do, I heard you interviewed the other day, and you said it just now, for 79 years, this kind of thing has been going on. So one of the things that these tranches has helped us do is to put in perspective exactly the point you're making. In 1949, the private document that the government put out, or that wrote for itself, not to be shared with the people, said it must be accepted that some type of flying objects have been observed. It is firmly indicated there is no domestic explanation. The objects are a threat and warrant more active efforts at identification and interception. That's what they were telling themselves. But Dr. Phil, in the same year, in 1949, the same year, this is what they said in public. All evidence and analysis indicate that reports of UFOs are the result of misinterpretation, a mild form of mass hysteria, individuals who fabricate such reports, and psychopathological persons. Okay? So your point is so well taken. There's been a 2-track thing that the government's been on for years where they're saying one thing to themselves, which is, we better take this thing seriously. And to us, they're saying, yeah, you know what? If you're thinking of reporting something, don't, because you'll look foolish if you do. And I think those days are coming to an end. I mean, this is a good example of this show.
Yeah, if I could add a little beat to that bone, for example, just how prevalent these incidents were at our most sensitive facilities. In 1950, the following year, Los Alamos reported over 200 UFO incidents in and around the facility in just the last year or two prior. And these reports were almost entirely from scientists and military personnel and security personnel, as well as some civilians. 30% of those were disc-shaped objects, 30% were green fireballs, and 30% were...
Okay, green fireballs. They weren't green meteors coming in because they were moving at a steady speed. They were green. They were going across the sky. So we got 30% were saucers, 30% were these green things flying along.
Shaped objects. 30% were green fireballs and 30% were other. They were extremely agitated, extremely concerned about the security risks involved with that. It was happening at other nuclear facilities as well. So there was an intense amount of activity at these sites, and that has continued. Just a year and a half ago, we had 17 consecutive days of objects flying over the Air Combat Command in Langley, Virginia, to the point where they had to actually evacuate an entire squadron of F-22s because they couldn't fly them safely from the Air Combat Command itself. So the Air Combat Command couldn't control its own airspace and had to remove our most advanced fighter aircraft, which have a mission, among other things, to protect the nation's capital. So that's the level of activity that we're seeing and the intrusiveness. And if people wonder why we feel a degree of urgency about it, I think they need only look at the continuing level of activity at sensitive military facilities and DoD test ranges and that sort of thing. We really need to figure out quite urgently who's behind this and what their agenda is.
No, I think it's what we need to hold
urgently. Who's behind?
Not there.
Is.
All right. Get out of it. All right. With this in the background, let's take a little break, talk about this. You know, Christopher Mellon, he's trying to deliver a good message, bring it all out there. Mike, your thoughts so far? It seems like you got Bryce and Christopher kind of like helping people understand it. You know, the verbiage does get a little thick at times, but do you think this is at a point for, if you want to call it Aunt Mary, who lives up in Idaho, to understand what they're talking about? Maybe not. Daryl, take it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you never want to be the woman who wins the beauty contest in Idaho because you're a Miss Idaho. Not good.
Oh, God.
Anyway, Miss Idaho. All right. So, yeah, no, he's doing a good job. I mean, that's just a continuation of what he's been doing. And he's bringing in, you know, the cast of characters that people should really pay attention to. I think.
It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. That's to say a fact. You know, probably the next people who I'd love to see on here, Tim Burchett.
Oh, yeah.
Forget Luna. Forget Eric. We love Eric. We got a video to play with Eric if we are going to have time on this. But yeah, great show coming so far from Dr. Phil. It's worth going ahead and checking out his podcast. The link is in the description. I did it. If you want to go over there, go ahead, watch it for a little bit, give him an additional view. And if you haven't subscribed to him, yeah, he does a bunch of other stuff, but he's making a contribution to what we're doing here, and it's good to show our support. It's kind of like you may be a Democrat, but you like disclosure even if it's coming from Trump, right?
Yeah, I mean, are you really going to be arguing? Look, I'm going to wait for disclosure by somebody else.
Yes, my friends, but that sound, yes, it's that time again. Remind you, yes, we are an independently funded program. The only independent funders we get are you. We appreciate everyone's love and support for what we do here on Disclosure tonight. We love you for your super chats. We try to minimize the ad interruptions because YouTube does sucks. I have to delete like 5 out of every 6 ads that they try to put on the show if you're watching this in replay. So if you haven't given us a chance with a subscribe so far, I'd personally appreciate it. And if a thumbs up would be great, but if you have to give us a thumbs down because maybe our mods are doing their job, well then let us know in the comments. But that's something I can't help you with. We need to keep the show, because a lot of people watch this, the people who make this watch this, and it's nice to have things that you can say things that aren't necessarily nice, but just keep it nice. Like nice. Otherwise nice will come and knock on your door.
Or death.
I'm sorry,
death
I said
may knock
that.
on your door too.
No, exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to the show. Let's jump past all the ads. He's got another episode coming up on sex offenders. Our community's really safe. Well, good conversation for a lot of people, especially those who live in the United Kingdom. But unfortunately, it's not about them. So let's get back to the podcast. Here we go.
One of the things I know as a person that's spent 50 years now, and I can say that, I admit I have thinning hair. I've been at this for a while. But one of the core principles in psychology that we know is that the best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior. And what we do know is that we've been observing these things at least since 1947 is the oldest document that I've personally laid eyes on. I don't know that there aren't many before then, but personally, the first that I've looked at is 1947. So we know in the last 80 years, there have been no overt hostile acts that we know about. That doesn't mean there could be things happening that are attributable to these forces that we don't know about, but we certainly don't have any attacks that we can attribute to these UAPs or whatever. And if the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior, I think people can take some comfort in knowing that if they were going to melt us with a ray gun or something of that nature, they've had ample opportunity to do that. They may have been here 1,000 years before we were here. Who knows what the situation is? But we do know that as long as we've been...
Okay, 1,000 years... This is where some of his knowledge wears a little thin. Whoever gave it to him on his script, or he's ad-libbing, like Trump likes it, a lot of people do sometimes, he'll get it corrected. But that goes on the And
did you did turn up the speed on the video, right?
The 1.25, is it that noticeable?
Yeah, okay. Oh,
I can slow it back down.
I'm an audiophile dude. I'll notice anything.
Well, I know. Take it back down. 1.0. There we go.
Monitoring this and tracking it, there have been no overt hostile acts, and I think people can take some comfort in that and
this
should.
is a good example what he's getting to.
They
here.
should.
Watch this.
The only thing I would say is if we're dealing with a non-human intelligence, or an NHI, as we like to say now, we'd have to assume that they think differently than us. So even in
they don't think anything like us, not even close. They don't have emotion. They don't have love. They don't have hate. They don't have good. They don't have evil. They just are what they are. Ryan?
Real quick, I just want to say, I love what Dr. Phil's doing. I support it 100%.
Cool.
And it's just awesome to me.
It's a message that we can relate to. It's nice to hear him talking about this. We know all this stuff already, but it's being put together in a package. Again, this is for the average, everyday folk.
And he's a very trustworthy person. You can listen to him and know that he's not bullshitting you.
For some people, yes. For some people, no. But for a lot of people, he comes out in a very, altruistic kind of guy who's there to talk about problems and try to help people guide through it and how to, guide your life through something.
Well, we can trust him. I can trust him because he's a trustworthy person and somebody that has helped people resolve personal issues over the years.
Well, it's kind of like, think of it this way. Based on all the stuff that he's saying, until we got to the part right here where it's like, okay, you need to correct some of the things. Everything is kind of on target. Now, when he's going to get into some of the technical stuff here, some of the examples they're making him use, they just need to be updated. He's going to talk again about having a galaxy and how it's going to take like 25 million years to get from that galaxy to our galaxy. And this could be potentially because that someone has given him information potentially where some of this could stuff be coming from. And if it's not from our galaxy, maybe that's why he's using an example that nobody else has heard.
Well, yeah, he's not
it's either bad intelligence or it's shit we haven't been told. Imagine if we have something popping up through a dimension, right? And
he hasn't been studying it for 40 years, so let's give the guy some slack.
No.
He's not going to know everything.
It's either a mistake or it's unreleased information. Now, he has been getting stuff from behind the scenes. Daryl, I think we need a survey on this one.
Well, anyway, that's all I want to say is that I'm proud to say that I support it 100%.
Right. Okay.
That's all.
Well, I guess when we get to it, we can go ahead and do the survey then. But okay, Bryce is going to talk.
Well, I'm ready to do I'm ready to go with a survey. If you
want. So Bryce states that the aliens are from another galaxy, and it would take like 25 million years to get here.
2.5 million. 2.5 million.
2.5 million, wherever it was. Right, we got. Is that bad information, or is it information that hasn't been released to the general public, and somehow he has something that is unreleased?
This won't all fit on one line in the question.
It's either yes or no. It's either yes. What is it? No, it's either bad information or it's unreleased information.
But what's the question?
Dr. Phil's comment about the distance between Earth and
Andromeda
and the galaxy.
Andromeda. Yeah.
Somewhere in the Andromeda galaxy.
Dr. Phil or Zabel?
Phil.
It was Phil. Yeah.
It's Phil.
Dr. Phil. Closest, right? That was the idea, right? Closest galaxy.
Well, no, the distance to a location in the closest galaxy.
I mean, listen, he's not gonna.
Right. So, is it bad information or is it unreleased information?
I think it's bad information.
Right. I know. Let's go ahead and ask the audience.
What science is he using to find the intergalactic target in the Andromeda galaxy? I don't know how he's determining that.
Who knows who he's talking? Hey, he's talked one-on-one with Grush already. So
I think this is just like a misunderstanding. Like he's taking in a lot of information and then he's trying to reproduce it on an educational level. I just think that it was just like misheard. I think maybe he was even trying to.
Let's just start the survey and find out.
All right, I'm going to start the poll.
I'm starting the
poll now,
and everyone can talk about it. Maybe I'm stupid for having the survey and we're losing audience, but no, I think it's something.
Stupid question. No questions. Stupid question.
Just like what said.
Sweaty, your audio is really bad. No one's going to be able to understand you, my friend.
No, I was saying, just like Corbett was saying, like, the information he's receiving, he's not articulating it very well, but by him talking about this stuff, you know, I feel like it's like every average Joe that just now knowing about this information, and he just every what is told to him.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, Sweaty. We just have to look at it, and that's why I'm just looking at it saying, well, it's not clear cut. It's one of those things where you have to go to the jury of our peers, and that's where disclosure has to pass through. It's not what I think or you think a lot of times. It's our collective audience. Everybody gets one vote. So, okay, Google, I'm sorry, I should have done this. Set a timer for 1 minute, please. Okay, Google, set a timer for 1 minute.
Oh, you got it on that one.
All right. 56 seconds left. I know I should have said it, my friends, about a minute ago, give or take. Let's see where our audience is going to go. We already have 65 votes in. Daryl, it's at 64-36. It's a good separation, but it's not like it's 80-20.
Yeah, I mean, the information I think he got is probably common information. Because
I haven't heard of.
Would be like the closest location is in the Andromeda Galaxy.
Have we heard of and talked to anybody about? Have we heard anything saying one of the alien races that's here is actually from Andromeda, and the distance to that is 2.5 million years?
No, I think I've only heard that from Dr. Phil. I think I've only heard that from Mr. Dr. Phil.
I know, but. It could be wrong, bad information, or unreleased information. Either way, it's not like it's clear cut. But you know what? Our audience has spoken, and it's clear. They said that Dr. Phil's the distance to the location in Andromeda Galaxy is bad information. So, but you never know, especially with disclosure. Thank you, audience. We appreciate that. Let's get back to this and continue on. Here we go.
In our own world, in the United States, we tend to think in 4-year terms because of presidential terms, right? So you can't get something that they think differently than us. So even in our own world, in the United States, we tend to think in 4-year terms because of presidential terms, right? So you can't get something off the ground if it can't get done right away. The Chinese may think in 100-year terms when they think about Taiwan or whatever. It's possible there are alien or non-human intelligences that think in a different time frame. If their time frame was 1,000 years, then they could just be getting started. And on the topic of the nuclear issue, which I share concern of, I think the nuclear issue means it is at least a national security issue of some kind. Now, I've heard people talk about this, Dr. Phil, two different ways. Some people say, well, they're looking at our nuclear capabilities because they want to protect us from ourselves. Okay, that's great.
Right, Daryl? This is the one everybody says and he's going to agree with, and that is one of the reasons that a lot of people go ahead and say why they're doing this. But on the flip side of the coin,
I hope that's true. But the other would be, what do you do before you actually go to war with anybody is you do reconnaissance. You try to find out what the other guy has. What are their assets? What are their capabilities? So I think the problem that we need to overcome in this country is getting to a place where we understand this phenomenon that we're encountering enough that we can at least start to figure out intent. What is the intent? There have been people that have reported.
What are they doing? Why are they here?
Okay, Thomas.
Yeah.
The answer to the 2.5 million thing is, so I just typed in how many light years is the closest likely galaxy supporting alien life that is visiting us, and that's the Andromeda Galaxy. But if it's within our own galaxy, 33,000 light years away, within our own galaxy, there may be life. But
there's ones that are even
another
closer
galaxy, the closest galaxy to us, other than our own, obviously,
is like 3 or 4 light years.
Is 2.5 million light years away. If aliens left Andromeda going the speed of light, the trip would take 2.5 million years. That's literally coming out of with me not saying anything
we're talking about the other galaxy. We're not talking about other star systems. If we look at a star system, the closest one we have, I think we've got one like 4 million light years away. We have another one in like at 11 or so.
But I'm saying this is a Google answer.
Yeah.
So this could have just been somebody in his staff Googling this.
Yeah, cool.
That 2.5 million light years is the closest galaxy.
Great information as always, Daryl. Thank you.
You know what? I try, Thomas.
Oh, there we go. Oh, my friend, to national security. There we go. And to good stats.
Oh, yeah.
Bingo. All right. And do it enough times you don't even have to look. You just know where it goes.
Right.
All right.
Thank
Here
God
we
I'm
go.
getting that done.
Being abducted over the years. What's the intent behind that? Is it medical? Is it more nefarious?
Hold on.
What is the intent? There have been people that have reported being abducted over the years. What's the intent behind that? Is it medical? Is it
Intent is a word that a lot of people are going to look at and it's like, well, they get intent, but it is, he has a lot of words, collapse it down and just drop it down like just a notch. But it's the exact message we need.
abducted over the years? What's the intent behind that? Is it medical? Is it more nefarious? What is it? And so we got a lot.
Which is, what are they doing here and why are they doing it? And we could ask also, why are they here? It's those little bit of questions that we deserve to know as people, because it doesn't get into the area of the technology, the ships, the other kind of stuff. But if there's things that are going on, fuck, we deserve to know.
A lot of work to do. And I think that's why I am so supportive of your current efforts, because you're basically saying, let's get started, people. Let's really take this seriously. Let's quit fooling around and stigmatizing people that want to take it seriously, and let's get to work. But let's get to work as a human race. Let's start sharing what we know, and let's make progress. That's where I'm coming from too.
Hold on. I got where to go. I want to bring this up. I play it a lot, but it's historic. And guys, here we go. You remember Reagan, don't you?
Never heard of him.
No. Okay.
I couldn't help at one point in my discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev, when you stop to think that we're all God's children wherever we may live in the world, I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together. Well, I don't suppose we can wait for some alien race to come down and threaten us, but I think that between us we can bring about that realization. In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war? I think maybe I'd answer it this way. I keep, in my frustration sometimes, you know, actually, if you count some of the things going on in smaller countries and all, there have been about 114 wars since World War II. But I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet?
I mean, that's military terminology. Everything that they look at in the military, they consider as a threat. And here you've got the president in an address bringing up that statement, which ties into everything we're here today. ATIP was the.
He was a believer. He was a believer in UFOs. He saw one.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all? We were all human beings, citizens of the world, and wouldn't we come together to fight that particular threat?
Maybe. Oh God, he wouldn't do it, would he?
What? What, Thomas? What?
Trump idolized Reagan, and he still idolizes Reagan all the fucking time.
They met each other, yeah.
Right. But he likes to think he's the modern day Reagan. Is he going to take this piece in this next speech? People have been saying, oh, there's nothing going to be about UFOs. But if you did want to say something and try to bring everybody together, because there is this universal threat and everything, couldn't that bring the world together in a way it's never been done before?
Yes, because the world is connected now way more than it was in the past. Because you're so connected, yes, obviously that would set the world on fire with a spirit of like, fuck, we need to survive.
Right. We need to come. We all need to come together as humanity.
Yeah. Sorry for the language, ladies.
We're fine. No, but it's real what we're talking about here. So I see this, and this is the thing that just played in my head. Play the freaking video. I've got all the hard drives that are all turned on, all 24 terabytes or 40 terabytes, whatever it is. All my data from whatever I've done forever is up online. So that's from my catalog. So let's get into this. He's got Car Shield. And they got rental car options. Go ahead, get them. All right, so
I think Disclosure started the day when Reagan spoke. When he spoke, he said that.
Yeah,
I think that was the. I mean, to be honest, I really think because like, that by him saying what he said up there in front of the UN, in front of the people, that right there started the whole disclosure, talk, or the beginning of disclosure.
Right.
He said that.
So actually, we did have another president who did kind of talk about UFOs batting around the bush, and I guess the president who talked about it the most and while in office after Trump would be Reagan, because of these little speeches he gave.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to give, like tip your hat off to Reagan, because he the one that really like got the topic, to be spoken wide open, because before that nobody wasn't really talking about UFOs or like that.
Yeah.
So when he said that, and he said other planets and an alien race come here and destroy our world, like as a kid when I seen that kind of put chills in my that kind of made me believe in UFOs. So
I think it was around 78 or so. I'm just looking at some history here, just talking about Reagan. I think Reagan was in office when they did this. Grenada, I thought it was in like 78 or so, and they tried to bring UFO shit to the United Nations, and they had former astronauts, a whole bunch of different people on the panel. I think John Alexander, a bunch of others were involved at that time, and they tried to get something about bringing out the truth about UFOs. But I'm not sure how long that government lasted, but don't forget, like 5 years later, we invaded Grenada to protect the national security of cinnamon, because it's a vital ingredient for Christmas, and you cannot have Christmas from cinnamon. So therefore, we were invading to take over Grenada because the world supply of cinnamon was being put at risk. Remember that?
No, I remember Grenada. Yeah, absolutely. But I thought it was more about the kids that were in the.
Yeah, that was the reason, though. But yeah, that was the funny excuse they used for it back then.
Oh yeah. The what do they call that? The golden whatever. They
exactly.
Call it something.
There we go.
That said 71% of Americans believe that there are aliens that have been or are in our earthly space. And it's interesting, I read that in one context. It said, look, this is not going to be such a big deal if this gets verified. You know, there's one thing to say that in the abstract, like, yeah, I think probably there are. It's a whole other different situation if you turn around and see somebody standing there. The gravity of it goes up a whole lot if it goes from the theoretical.
Now, this is the part to listen to coming from the psychologist side, whether or not we agreed or not.
The gravity of it goes up a whole lot if it goes from the theoretical to the verified. And I hope that we are going to put enough context around this, particularly knowing that there are segments of our population that are very vulnerable. There are some elderly folks that aren't up on technology and might be overwhelmed by the reality of this. We have certain populations that might be easily disoriented or destabilized in the mental emotional fringes of the population. And I worry about those that are easily exploitable. You know, you need to get out of the urban areas, buy our buried school bus in the mountains, and you'll be safe forever. You know, the con artists and the scammers are going to find every opportunity to prey upon those that are concerned and worried about this. And I think we need to be prepared to take care of those that might be destabilized by this information that's coming out right now. We can't pretend they aren't there. We've made those mistakes in the past, like during COVID, for example. There are those that are more impacted than others, and we need to be prepared to handle that.
A vulnerable group, Dr. Phil, is literally our children. The children of the world are going to have questions, and you, of all people, absolutely know how we handle those questions with our children in the years to come is going to be very important. We need to figure out how to be honest with them, but at the same time, assure them that we're doing everything we can to keep them safe and secure and that they're going to be all right. It's such a complex subject. We can barely tell ourselves what's going on. So to try to tell kids is something else. The one thing I just wanted to put out there, people constantly do polls where they ask people, do you believe in UFOs? And that's the wrong question, because people tend to answer that one like they're being asked, do you believe in aliens? My answer is, we all believe in UFOs. We've already agreed that UFOs exist. They're unidentified, they fly, and they're objects. So the question isn't belief anymore. The question is trying to understand this phenomenon that has presented itself on our doorstep, at least for 80 years, and maybe, as you pointed out earlier, for thousands.
We recently commissioned a study by a group of 6 psychologists, PhD psychologists, on this topic of how the public would receive this information. And it was generally very encouraging. And what they found was that the great bulk of the population, as they have in the past with other epical changes such as the Copernican principle or evolution or general relativity, it takes people a while to process this information. There's a period of resistance, but most people get up, get out of bed, go to work the next day. They're not devastated, even though there's nothing quite comparable to this, perhaps. What the study did find is that there's likely, however, to be a subset of people, maybe 15% of the population, that are going to need some help. And that we are not necessarily prepared in our present state to provide that kind of assistance, and we need to be doing more to get ready for that, and also to work on the messaging. The messaging is so important. Clear and consistent messaging from the government, trying to develop trust with the American people so that the information is accepted and acted on. A lot of the difference will be people who can't get their head around it, even though they really understand it. But because of their own belief structure, the architecture of their own belief structure, for some reason in their particular individual case, it's particularly threatening, or disruptive. So there will be people who fall into that category, according to this study, who likely are going to need some assistance to help deal with this, because it is so far-reaching and for some people potentially very frightening.
That's, by the way, where the concept of, if you want to understand the future, try to understand the past really comes in, because obviously certain things have happened in the past. When we got bad news before we closed the banks, we shut down the stock market during the 9/11 attacks. We'll be doing some of those things. The one thing, Chris, that's interesting about the 15%, though, and we talked about this, my co-author Richard Dolan and I, when we wrote this After Disclosure book, which is, okay, if 15% take it badly, 15% of the say the gasoline truck drivers are included. What if those 15% don't go to work the next day because they're freaking out? Well, then you have that thing where suddenly there's gas lines, and suddenly the media is covering that, and suddenly you feel like a sense of panic, and now everybody's at Costco buying toilet paper, and we know the psychological ramifications of some of this. So again, it goes back to what's disclosed. If you were to tell me or someone else, well, listen, I'm disclosing that Roswell is real, but don't worry. All these things you're seeing flying around now are the technology we were reverse engineered and everything's fine. That would be one thing. But if you disclose, well, it turns out there's 5 different species here right now, and they all have different agendas. Well, that's a whole different form of disclosure. So again, I just don't know what the facts are. And I really do think that we have some encouraging news in the current government that they seem to be willing to let us start having this discussion. I think it's all positive.
The thing that bothers me is that the government has decided that they're going to substitute their judgment for our own. And look,
okay. Daryl, quick survey. Would the public freak out if they were told that there were 5 different alien races and they all have different agendas? Or there are 5 alien races here with different agendas? Yes or no? Would the public freak out?
I think the public will freak out more if people start asking the question, why are they here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
it's like, it's been the same thing that you've been saying since I came on this channel. Like, why are they here? You know what I mean? And anything after that, 5, 6, 10 different species.
Well, 5. Let's start with 5. If there's one, there's usually more than one of anything.
I know, I'm just making an example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it could be more, you know what I'm saying? But as far as we know, it's 5. And another question is,
why does it always do that?
Which should be a survey too at the end of the night. Why are they here?
Thomas. There, it's up.
All right. Would the public freak out if they knew or they were told that there are 5 different races on Earth, all with different agendas? This is a good one. Let's, it's good enough. I need to have some freaking music playing in the background. Where's that at? No, you like the other one. The other one's there.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Yeah, there we go, folks. Yes, there we go. One more time. Will the public freak out if they knew, actually, okay, Google, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds, please.
Okay, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Starting now.
Oh, but it's not working.
Oh, we got you, Country Carpenter. What say you?
Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We try. It's a learning experience for everybody. Oh, shit. Look at that. They killed it. Damn it. That happens when I'm dealing with YouTube. They're like, oh, what the fuck? Sorry. We broke the survey. All right. It's back now. Jesus, what the hell is this thing doing? All right. With 45 seconds left to go, we're going to get to those 77 usual voters, Daryl. It's that time of night. Disclosure tonight, Bar and Grill. We are past the peak for the evening. We have 36 seconds left. There we go. We got 72. We'll get to 77. We always do. Ryan.
I voted yes. I think there would be people that would freak out. I think that there will be a group of people that will go out with their double-barrel shotguns looking to bag an alien.
I hope, well, that'd be a small percent. But if you even like look at any percentage, we did this before, and you look at the percentage of the total number of people in the United States, okay, go on.
Well, I think if they announced it, I think everyone would be looking to see one. Everyone would be looking around like, where are they at? I want to go see them. You know?
Turn that off. We've got our result, and let's go ahead and bring it to a close. Okay, stop. Didn't want to listen.
That's pretty telling. Pretty much 50-50. I mean,
49-51. That's almost. Okay, we're at 50-50. I can end it now.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it does kind of lend some credence to the fact that they're putting these psychologists on the boards of the, what is it, the UAP science.
Oh, you heard about that? Yeah,
board.
they brought their own Dr. Phil on to the UAP Disclosure Fund or Foundation.
But what if they're all around us at all times and we just can't see them? They could be standing right next to you, or they could be. There could be the sky. What
if you look up in the sky and there are more of their craft flying around than there are our craft?
Yeah,
and they've been there. We just haven't seen them.
Like we're literally surrounded. I think that would freak people out.
Yeah.
So the woman that goes in to take her shower after
Mike,
work.
Are you there?
Mike.
I am.
No, not you.
Yes, I've been here the whole time. What's up?
Mike Disclosure.
Yeah,
I'd like
of course.
To hear your
We've had a conversation. What was the conversation about if people knew about all the things that they actually saw in the sky? How did that one go again?
Oh, because you can't necessarily see all of these craft with their technology and their ability to cloak without certain specialized equipment like infrared, things like that. The naked eye alone.
But it's not even just regular infrared. It's like really fucking high-end infrared, yes.
Yes. So in other words, the human eye isn't necessarily able to see these objects when they could be directly overhead without the right sensor equipment.
Right.
And there are so many that are actually above all of our heads that if you were able to see it with the human eye, you would shit yourself. Yeah. And that's a direct quote.
You would shit yourself, as some do.
Yeah, that's how many are overhead if you were able to see them.
I mean, the ones that are going around that are invisible, you can't see. It's different from like the orbs or the saucers or the different things. These are craft that their outside temperature of the craft coming from a sensor picks them.
That's syrup.
No, it wasn't. It's Country Carpenter. I just shut it off. All right, so you have to have technology that can see down to negative 60 degrees Celsius because that's the outside temperature. So these things are really fucking cold, but they're invisible and they're fucking everywhere. I've seen video of this stuff, two different sightings of it. One that's by itself, another one that's going ahead and flying in tandem with a fucking orb. Or a little square, if you want to call it, like a 6 pixel by a 6 pixel little thing. But yeah, it was small, but it was moving along right with the craft, and it's right behind like our air traffic.
Right, because we don't have air superiority of our own skies.
We'd never have.
These things, these things have been here a very long time and are all over all the time, but we just are unable to see it with our naked eye.
Yeah.
Right. So if we could, then people would shit themselves, literally.
Right.
So what's Suzanne after work or somebody, for an example, who comes home and wants to take a shower and realizes that there really isn't any privacy.
There never has been.
Yeah.
If this stuff hasn't been going on as long as it's been really going on and stuff, and they've known about it, we're the ones who are getting played here, folks. And no matter
Right.
whatever it is what it is. Are we going to be able to change it? No. If we try really hard, are we going to be able to change it? No.
Right.
We're just the pigs in the fence, and we've realized, oh shit, we're in a farm. And potentially we're on the menu.
So I have a question, Thomas.
Yes, sir.
How about if we ask, would you be freaked out to find out that there are 5 different alien races on planet Earth
Sure.
instead of the population?
Daryl, I can copy and paste it and do it. Or can you do that? On. Me? Here, I'll just do it really quick.
You took off with Ferrari?
No.
I am indisposed.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. I've got it right. If I can find the fucking chat. Where did you go, chat? All right. They can go ahead and see me. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the Zoom so I can see what the hell I'm doing. The survey is start a poll. There we go. What we just said before, would I, meaning the viewer, would freak out if I knew that there were told, meaning it's like the truth. If the truth was that there are 5 alien races on Earth, all with different agendas. And I'm too many characters long. It's gonna I
just change it to you.
No, it's
you would freak out.
No, I would freak out. I'm the person who's doing the survey. We got 98 out of 100, yes or no. Let's do it. I'm not the person who's taking the survey. That's your voice talking right now.
God damn it. You would freak out. Yes, no. Yes, no. I don't know.
All right. It's a good one already. Okay, Google.
50-50.
Set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds, please.
Okay, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Starting now.
All right, we'll take a little bit more. Just the drums playing from the intro music. I've got that license too. Hopefully they don't come after me though. Well, I'll just have to deal with it again. But anyway, with minute 17 in, where are we sitting right now? All right, we've got it from our audience itself, our audience members. It's pretty clear to them with 76 votes in, 79, that they would freak out if the truth was that there are 5 alien races on Earth today, right now, all with different agendas.
Yeah, I said yes. I would freak out. I mean, I'm not going to kill myself or.
There's nothing we can do about it.
But I mean,
it's going to be like Pokemon cards. Hey, which ones have you interacted with? What can we find?
Sorry, man. I understand. We always ask this question, and everybody goes, "No, I'd be just fine." But when you think about 5 competing races and they have different agendas, I want to know what those agendas are. Yeah, I'd freak out a little bit.
But there's 5. Well, there's 5 different alien races with different agendas, but there could be sub agendas within all of the other independent agendas. You know, there's always the good people, the bad. Well, who knows?
I wouldn't freak out physically, but mentally, I'd probably be freaking out a little bit. I'd be the voice of common reason, but I'd still be freaking out a little bit.
Yeah. Internally,
God, you know what the fuck?
Internally, all I would say is, I told you so. You should have listened. How many times did I have to tell you? That's what I'm getting from my higher self. Yeah.
You know what? It's like, I agree with Daryl, but I would freak out if I know that that all 5 races, if their agenda has to do with human beings.
Of course it is.
That would freak me out.
Of course it would, yeah.
That's insinuating that they are the top of the food chain.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, I got a gun.
It's okay.
Daryl's got a gun.
You don't have to be at the total top of the food chain to survive. We got
But
caves for that.
If we wasn't on the agenda, then no, I wouldn't freak out.
It says in the Bible that God gave us dominion over the earth. So did he lie?
Is that in all the religious texts?
That's
Or just in Christo-Judean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also too,
Judeo-Christian.
Yeah.
Also too, you can interpret.
So you got a point, but not a
in
win.
different ways. So, because us can be meaning like them. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
You know, we was always known that that man was the superior race on this earth.
No, just no. Oh, you don't know. We may have. Well, we've been told. We've been created, right?
Mm-hmm.
And JD Vance is saying you can't tell the difference between an alien or an angel and a UFO. And if they're coming from space, and if they're bad, if they're like the demons, I guess if they were from space and they were flying in here and good, they'd be the angels.
If an alien, a demon, and a ghost got off of a UFO,
walked into a bar together,
I think he's gonna say that. I think he's gonna say that.
Who sat down first? Oh, you could have AI get this. All right, so let's get back to our program here. Like, okay, 107 votes in. It's not moving anywhere. As long as what we've had so far, it's an 80-20 split. Our audience would handle it coolly. Although you may have some internal thoughts like, holy fuck, it's actually happening. A lot of it kind of like when I saw that we had the triangular UFOs that were flying over the USS Russell off the coast of Southern California. I was like, woohoo, they're freaking back. Do it. Bring it on,
Yeah.
And that could be a bad thing because they could say, you guys have been bad.
Yeah.
Well, just think about in your mind, what would you tomorrow if they
A
announce
vowel, I'd like it again. An E, please.
if they announce this truth tomorrow, what would you do? Well, the first thing I would do is get up and go to work.
Yeah.
But my question is, what would all the crackheads and tweakers do? And
They would continue to be crackheads and tweakers.
What?
They would probably be more concerned about getting drugs. But there's
That's
a lot
right.
of
They wouldn't care.
I mean, the biggest people, the people who'd be the most freaked out would be the government, because now you've just found out that there's a government bigger than you.
Yeah.
You're now the governed.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, Lou has talked this. He's said this many times before that if the truth on when the truth on this comes out, it is going to cause the greatest constitutional crisis in the history of the United States of America for all the things this government has been doing for the last 80 years.
Right. If you're focused on that,
Bigger than Watergate, bigger than anything else, this will be the one.
But you will make a bit of difference if the aliens are eating your brain.
No, how about your consciousness? You think you're going on to the next level, you're going and reincarnating, but no, they trick you into think that going to the light and you're going into the next life when you're going into their containment system or whatever it could potentially be. Who knows?
To be recycled as a new spirit.
But maybe that's not the way we're supposed to go.
Right.
We're engineered. Could be.
I don't know. Maybe the recycling and that whole reincarnation thing, maybe there's something to that now that you bring it up.
Yeah.
Why people still remember some things, but they're 5 years old, but they remember flying an aircraft in World War II. And the family member of that World War II person is like, how the fuck do you know this about my old father?
Hey, you know what? Lisa Trusser brings something up, and she says, I think they're related to a type of parasite, hence why Lou was he wasn't parasitology. I think or was he?
Parapsychology?
I thought he was like virology or something like that. No, Lou Elizondo's expertise. Yeah, she was bringing up about Lou.
I thought he had a biology or some sort of degree.
Yeah.
Chemistry? Biochemistry?
Oh, God, you're going to make me do this. I was going to bring it up earlier.
Biochemistry? He did chemistry. I know that.
Okay, Lou Elizondo, the UFO guy, he has a degree in like biology or virology or something like that. What is it?
He studied microbiology and immunology at the University of Miami, not virology. Then he went on to a career in Army military.
Okay, perfect. Yes, thank you. Okay.
Microbiology.
He sounded so droll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how
ChatGPT. Yeah.
Somehow anyway.
So let's get back to the video bit. Yeah, we got a bunch to get to. I know, 370.
Is there more still?
I guess, you know what? We could hold it for tomorrow.
I mean, it's 11:19.
It's 11:19. We all have to go to work tomorrow.
I hate to be, I've got some things I got going on tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
375 people still in the audience.
Well, it's 378 actually. Hey, if you're still watching the show, haven't subscribed yet, I think we're gonna hit it, Daryl. I asked. Mike and I have been working on it, trying to go ahead and get to that window there. Are we up in subs? We got it. No, we're still 18,397 subs. We are we are 3 subs away from hitting 18,400. So if you're watching the show, you haven't subscribed yet. Yeah, I've got the live counter here, and it's.
Oh, do you put it up there? Because come on,
I know. 3, right?
Somebody in the audience is not a subscriber.
There's got to be. All right. Here's the live counter. If we get a sub, it'll go up.
Let me unsubscribe because I like to be that guy.
Yeah, some people do that when I bring it up. It's funny. We've seen it roll down a couple, then roll up one. It was like, but you know what? It's probably all viewers watching the show right now. So there we go. Hey, we got
boom.
2. We got 2. We are 1 away. And I get to play the buzzer sound effect.
Let me get the champagne ready.
There we go. I think this one can work. No. Now we wait. Are we going to get one? Or I think maybe we got the only 2 that were out there in the audience.
You get you get a free lifetime subscription for that one person that does not
a free lifetime membership. Up now we went down. Oh, you gotta love it.
All right.
Wake up. Okay, we're done. We have some fun with it. All right, thank you, everybody. It's been a great show, great evening. Yeah, we'll finish this off tomorrow. We've gone for 2 hours, and we all have something called a JOB tomorrow.
Yeah, we also got a super chat just now.
Oh, we did? Oh, yeah. Area 51 unvetted. I have to go ahead and thank everyone for super chats. Let me get into... let's get into the chat here back in the start of the studio. And let's go ahead and take a look at the sound effects up. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for stopping out to this episode of Disclosure tonight. More importantly, we had some fans. Come on, play, little bitch. There we go. We got a couple super chats in tonight. More than a couple. We did. Anonymous Rex started off. Thank you very much, Tim. Greatly appreciate it. $100. EDub 21. For $1. Thank you very much. Thank you for your donation. B-Simon75, don't forget, it is 2 million years from our point of reference. It is much shorter if you actually traveling closer to the speed of light. Yeah, that's a distance in light years of how far light travels. So if you can just get up to the speed of light, that's about how fast it can go. Lisa Trusty, I think they're related to a type of parasite. Yeah, aliens. It could be like a parasite kind of a thing. You know, we've seen possessions and that kind of stuff. Maybe that was misunderstood alien intervention. Yes, and Area 51 unvetted. Thank you very much. Great super chats. Great evening, Daryl. Thank you for being here, Mike. Thanks for hanging out. You've been quiet tonight.
Yes, it's been a good conversation. I've been listening to you and Dow go back and forth and waiting to jump in if need be. But it was fun. A lot of different things were covered tonight.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah,
and we have stuff left over for tomorrow.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Because we'll need it. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yes.
We'll make it work.
Did it go up? Did the subscriber count go up?
No.
No.
You're still at 18,399.
Oh, my God. All right.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's another day, Daryl.
Yeah,
We'll
when
do
people
it then.
watch it in reruns, we usually get stuff
Yeah,
and
the
everything.
reruns,
Team
people.
Rewatch. Yes, on that note, thanks, guys. I appreciate everyone else. Thank you, the audience. Thanks for the super chats, everybody. Happy Wednesday Disclosure tonight. We made it, and we've got stuff let's still talk about tomorrow. There'll be more news and hopefully things popping up. If not, a bunch of stuff. One thing we didn't cover, but just rest assured, the Roswell Daily Record found a buyer. So it will be
So
continuing.
somebody's taking it over?
Someone's going to take it over, yes. That was announced today.
That's actually good news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
a tough little paper. Yeah.
Exactly.
Good.
Well, my friends, as we usually say at the end of every episode of Disclosure tonight, eyes open, turn that off. No fear. Be safe, everybody, but
Go back to Party City
where you belong.
absolutely, we'll catch you on the flip side. See you later, everybody. Take care now. Good night. Bye-bye.